Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday for us lineback big back girls. You know what I'm saying? And happy capital T, capital A, capital C, capital O in the political world. But we are here for something totally different. We ain't even gonna talk about politics. We ain't gonna talk about how Trump might pardon Diddy. We just gonna talk about Diddy and this crazy trial. It is day 15 of the Diddler trial. It is time to talk about it. Y'all, a lot went down today. We had chaos in the courtroom today between a Diddy supporter comes in and just does the most. And then while I'm watching Tisa, she gets front row seats to a woman who is going off on content creator Armand Wiggins. Hey Armand, how you doing, boo? It was so much. We also got Eddie Garcia, the security guard who got immunity to speak today. He definitely had proof and proved Rico today. If anybody was worried about where is the Rico, it smacked you in your face today. And if you didn't see it, something is wrong with you. And I would advise you to go to your nearest care center or emergency at the hospital at this time. It is an emergency. If you did not understand the assignment today on day 15, what Eddie Garcia gave to the prosecution, gave to the court, handed Diddy his ass, okay, if you will. Defense docs Mia today. What the hell? Whole thing where it was an accident my ass. What else happened? Mark tried to do his big one today. Yes, he did. He saw how Brian Steele did poor little Mia yesterday and was sitting on top of the world with his like he did something. And Mark wanted to have that same glorious moment because he has yet to have one. You know what where Mark reminds me of before I really need my SNL people to lock in right now. Please think of it, please. You know that there's always God damn it, and I can't even remember her name in real life, but god damn it, there's a skit on SNL, and it's a whole bunch of girls introducing themselves, and then it gets to homegirl who's got the small fingers, small, and I'm Jan. I don't know. It is just the worst. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to really show y'all a picture of it next time because I know y'all probably think I'm tripping. But please, in the comments, if you are watching this video, please say something. If you know something, say something. And if you are watching this video, please like this video. And if you are just stumbling upon me for the first time, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I come on again. Because I'm a random one. I come on whenever. If I feel like it. You know what I'm saying. But also what happened today. Puff Daddy CFO do not like him. He do not. Because he couldn't figure out if he liked him or not or was a good man or not. And that says a lot. Like, he really tried to think about it, and he couldn't think of nothing. That says a lot. And that's where Mark messed up. He tried to do his big one on that, and it backfired. Because she thought Diddy CFO was going to at least have his back there, right? No. No. This is not what you think it is, Mark. Also, Diddy's jailhouse calls will be getting played. Some of them will be getting played. Since they wanted to downplay Mia's testimony so bad, and Mia damn near could not defend herself whatsoever. So to keep her credibility, they are going to be playing some of Diddy's calls from jail. I don't know what that's going to do. Mark should be scared because if he called Mark for anything, I swear Mark needs to be looked into. I'm going to keep saying that. I mean, it couldn't hurt to look right. Just couldn't hurt to look. Not accusing the man of nothing. But I'm just saying, let's cover all the bases here. Because Diddy is the type who is so corrupt, he don't care who he makes corrupt. Because he don't even see himself as corrupt. You know what I'm saying? He feel like if you a lawyer, you got leeway more than me. So you know what I'm saying? Shrivel that ass. Anyway, and also the prosecution. The prosecution, they ate their Wheaties this morning. They drunk their orange juice with the pulp in it, okay? Because they did not come to play. They slept on it. They slept on it, and they realized, you know what? That ain't right how Brian did Mia. So when they came in strong with it. And they like, look at here, look at here, look at here. What had happened yesterday can't be happening, partner. That's not happening. So it was a whole entire thing. And the judge was like, okay, you're right, sure, you're right. You know what I'm saying? It can't happen. So they clocked in. And even when they did, here comes Mark doing this stupid stuff, and he's still trying to do something on the slick side. And they were like, see, this is what we're talking about. What are we doing here? You know what? The defense is dirty. The defense is really dirty. But I'm glad that the prosecution clocked in and said something. Because if you don't say something, you got to say something. You know what I'm saying? You got to say something. And so, anyways, also, I forgot my point. So let's just go to the notes, okay? Let's just go to the notes for today. So I'm going to just read them off and see if this makes me go faster. Because I'm trying to make this the most easiest and simplest and quickest way to get your notes for the day. Just quick to the point with a little bit of detail, you know, where I can. So I'm just trying something new. Anyway, Diddy supporter was dragged out of the courtroom today. So a woman comes in, right? Gotta tell this story though. Woman comes in and she's like, you're messing with a black man's legacy. Y'all can't do this to him. And just like power to the people type thing. And it took 4 marshals to come and get this woman out of the courtroom. Like they had to drag her out. Had her in a headlock and everything. Like the whole shabuzi. It was going down in the courtroom. And it's like, can you imagine being in a courtroom and witnessing that? Like, what is going on here? So it was 4 of them. And while they got her and she's getting dragged out, she's like, draw your MF gun, take your MF gun. Like, it was just so much. And like, when you start mentioning, you know, that and pew-pews in the courtroom, that's something serious. You can't be doing that, girl. Like, they gonna take you down right then and there, like, clobber you. But like I said, they had homegirl in a headlock. Had her in a headlock. Like, that is insane. And she's just talking about the legacy. Diddy ain't got no legacy. And he about to have no legacy to bring behind either. I mean, his poor daughters, I mean, let that be the only great legacy. And the little young one, let that be the only legacy. But, honey, seriously? Really? Come on. We're not going to do that. But, yeah. So, that whole bit happened, right? And then afterward, while I was watching Tisa, shout out to Tisa. She is where I get most of our information from. So, if you hear it from me, you probably heard it from her. But I appreciate you coming to watch me, too. Because, you know, I'm not as nice as Tisa is. She's an angel, bless her heart. But I'm going to say some things. And it may not be that nice. But I still love you. Anyways. So then while I was watching Tisa, while Tisa's giving us the rundown of the rundown, a woman is clocking in at content creator Armand Wiggins. Like, what the French toast is happening here? And she's just, and if you watch Armand, he was live at the time. So you can go to his live and see the whole drama for yourself, face to face, as he witnessed it. Well, as he was a part of it. Well, I wonder if my eye's small enough for me to eat. And it is. But I ain't gonna do that to y'all. That's disrespectful, and it is not a cute look. But anyway, she's just going off on him, and he said that's the reason why he don't bring his phone stand, his tripod with him, because someone always messing with him because they know he's trying to do something, right? And it's funny you say, because Tisa just now started using her stand. a wonderful tattletale had bought her a phone stand so she can be hands free when she talks, because she be holding her notebook and a pen and all at the same time, and then Tisa be wanting to act out stuff for us and everything. If you don't follow Tisa, oh my goodness, y'all gonna hear me talk about her a lot. That's my favorite content creator. And if y'all see this, send it to her so she knows. She already know me. She said we was friends on her live. I took that to heart. But I am not going to get a single black female on you, Tisa. I promise you I won't. Anywho. So back to the story. So yeah, this woman's trying to really plug in her own thing, because I think she was a content creator herself, so she was actually trying to do her own plug on Armand's stuff. It was just absolutely insane and crazy to see. But it's crazy to see from Armand's way, and it's crazy to see from outside looking in completely, because we was just on the sideline, just like, what? We was like, hold on, Tisa. And then Tisa's like, hold on, y'all. Like, is she moving over so we can see what's going on? Like, it was crazy. At first, I didn't know it was Armand, though, until because I followed him on Instagram, and then I finally seen him posting it. I was like, oh, snap, that was you playing? I was like, damn. Speaking of content creators, someone called or emailed the jail or wherever, courthouse, trying to say that Tisa Tells was the one that doxed Mia. When in fact, hell no. And anyone who follows her and knows her knows that no, she would never do that. Like, her integrity is strong, okay? She don't play that. She is the real deal. If someone really try that on her, that's a federal. That's a federal. That is a federal. Y'all can really get in trouble for that. Y'all can't be doing stuff like that. The jealousy is real, you know, and she don't care, but I do care, because that is just dirty. Y'all just, there is enough for all of us to eat, and for content creators to be calling on another content creator, being that jealous of another one. Like, seriously? Seriously. And these are the ones who are actually the type that are doxing Mia. It's insane. And I still don't know. I said I was going to look up to see who Mia really is. I still ain't looked her up to find out, because it's not really important to me who she even is. The point is, what she said, I believe, regardless if she was credible or not. And if the way Brian went in on her, she could have been credible had they really spent time on her and went through how this would go. But they didn't. But it is what it is. So what else went on today? Yeah, she was just like, yeah, legacy, pull your whoop whoop whoop. And, you know, I guess this is she said it multiple times. It's like, my goodness. And I guess this woman has caused a little bit of trouble before. And so hopefully she's been banned. I'm sure she's been banned now after this. But they had got her out, and I guess her and Diddy locked eyes, and the way Diddy was looking at her, like, with admiration and like, oh, thank you. He probably paid her. She probably one of the same woman who was out there at the courthouse with a free Diddy shirt, or whatever they was saying, giving her for $20 an hour. Oh, that's right. No, that wasn't true. Please. Let's see. Yeah, we already said that we talked about the, Diddy's jailhouse calls will be released. Eddie Garcia. I said yesterday that he was the man in the video on Cassie's video. No, he is not. He was in the security. All right. And it's crazy because how he told his story was he never even gave Diddy his number, but Diddy called him out of nowhere and talked to him and was like, hold on, because I don't want to get it wrong. So when I get to it, I get to it. Yeah, Eddie was the one that sold it in the tape. When he called, yeah, so I guess he called or got a number, but how I just listen to how I did this, because the way I just got it out, it'll all come back. Okay, it may not make sense at first, but then it will start to make sense. I promise you. It happens every time. It happens every time, because I ain't gonna tell you what. That don't matter. Listen here. So KK called Eddie and passed the phone to Diddy. It was a burner phone, first and foremost. It was a burner phone, so it wasn't even a real number. So right there, you're doing something dirty. On a burner phone? Why is she doing this on a burner phone? Just wonder. And then he asked him, "Look, you sound like you good. You sound like you good. You the man that can help me." And he was like, Eddie, and it was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "You the type of guy that can help me." And Eddie is just this honest man. He is just, trying to do his job, trying to go home at the end of the day. He is not trying to. He is not trying to get into this. He really, 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 really wasn't. So he was talking to Eddie and he was like, "You have any access?" And Eddie was telling him, "No, I don't have any access." And he was like, "No, you know what? You seem like the type that can make it happen. You know how Diddy talk. You seem like the type that can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, Eddie." And he was calling him his angel and shit. It was just weird. All right. And so, and it was just weird almost because he never gave KK or Diddy his number. Like, how did he even get his number? So he got in touch with his supervisor because it's like, I don't know what's going on. And the supervisor was like, "Hey, do it for $50K. The supervisor was game already. I think the supervisor's name was Bill. But supervisor was game already. Supervisor was trying to get paid, okay? Supervisor was trying to get paid. So it was a lot of back and forth. So Eddie called Diddy back. KK answered the phone, hands it to Diddy. That's the part I don't understand. Why do KK keep answering the phone? Why don't Diddy just got the phone? Why is KK in charge of the phone? It's just weird. I guess you got to figure out who it is first so he know ahead of time. That's crazy. If you got to have somebody answer your burner phone for you, that just goes to show you really on some other type of stuff. Like, really, my dude, really. Eddie says Super do it for $50K. He called KK, answered President Diddy. And again, he was like, "Diddy, Eddie, my angel." Like, he was so excited. He was like, "I knew you can make this happen. What's up? What's up? When can we do this transaction? Like, basically, when can we do this transaction ASAP? I'm trying to get this done. I'm trying to get this done." And so the boss was like, "Yeah, go do what you got to do." So Bill, the boss, came in, went straight to the security base, then went straight to the office. Came out, handed him a USB cord. I mean, a USB little thingamajig, okay? And, like, quickly. It was just that quick, like 3 to 7 minutes. It just was that quick. So Eddie gets it, calls the burner phone. KK answers again. And Diddy's happily excited because he about to do what he needed to do. He about to get all the evidence that wipes away what he did to Cassie because he knows it was wrong. So Diddy gives him an address, and so Bill gives him an address. We gave it to Bill, and Bill said, take it, whatever. So he got there. So when Eddie gets there, he's greeted by this heavy-set bodyguard who's tall as hell, big, and he's about 6'3" in that range, right? So this is a big dude, big dookie, okay? In the elevator, the guard's like, Puff's a good guy. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good thing. Like, why you gotta give this? Why is you motivating him? Like, that's weird. Like, dude, I don't know you. I don't need no pep talk. Like, what is this? I be looking at him strange. Just saying. And so, but it was trying to make him feel good about what he's doing. Like, why are you trying to do that? Like, what you got to do with this, homie? What you got to do with this? And so when he got in, again, calling him his angel, but his voice is crackly or whatever. He's filled with excitement, like, "Ooh, get it, like, get it. And he keeps trying to offer Eddie this tea. Like, what's in the tea? He keeps telling KK, "Go get him some of that tea I like." Like, that tea you like, or what you be putting in the tea, Diddy? Like, what we doing? What we doing, sir? No, don't drink the tea. Don't drink the tea. Eddie, he never grew up drinking tea. Eddie is nervous as hell. He don't know what's going on. He just trying to get this done quick, fast, and hurry. He paranoid as hell. So he's still trying to get the tea when KK goes and tries to get the tea or whatever. So Eddie is nervous and scared. And so he mentions to Diddy like, yo, what if Cassie goes public with, or goes to the police on us or whatever, and she says something and we're all in trouble. So what does Diddy do? He calls up Cassie for for the most quickest time I could ever think that he would call her, because he quick to be all up in her business any other time. But Cassie had a hood over her face because, of course, it was time she had just got done getting beat down by this man, this monster. And so yeah, he's got her saying, tell him you want this to go away. And she's like, yeah, I want this to go away. And that was basically it. Saying, yeah, she's got a movie coming out or whatever. She just wants this to go away too. Trying to assure Eddie that nothing's going to happen and Cassie's not going to say anything. Was that really Cassie? Now I'm going to need Cassie to come back and be like, girl, was that you? I need to know. Was that you? If it was, you think it would have been brought up. So obviously it wasn't her. That's crazy. You got somebody faking to be somebody? That's crazy. What do you call crazy? That's crazy. That's crazy. But it's like, Eddie is not a ride or die. You know how it goes. Like, I am not a ride or die. I got questions. Where we going? Who we going? Where we going with? How long we gonna be there? How we getting back? Who providing it? All of that. Like, Eddie had questions. He is not dumb. Especially when you're not used to doing this type of criminal activity, and it's criminal, and everybody else want to act like it ain't criminal. It's like, what? It's like it's being in the Twilight Zone. I know I would have been. Like, is this real? Like, is this real life? Diddy's like Swordfish. He lives in a world beyond our world, and it's quite disturbing. Okay? So, asked for all of these involved. He asked for all of everyone's ID that was involved in all of this at the hotel, who had access to the tape and all of this stuff. He wanted to take pictures of their IDs. Are you serious? He wanted their location. That's what he wanted, so he can threaten them if ever necessary. That is crazy. There ain't no way I'm giving Diddy my card. Like, what is this? Like, I'm doing you a favor. What you need my information for? Give me yours. Like, because what are we really doing here? What are we doing, sir? And so at some point, they got evidence of showing pics of the NDA everyone had to sign also. Everyone had to sign the NDA. And guess what was on the freaking NDA sheet, y'all? Sean Combs Global, the freaking company. Rico, hey boo, how you doing? Yes, because if y'all ain't seen no Rico yet or feel like Rico hasn't been proved yet, boom, there you go. And if you don't see it right then and there, that is it. There ain't nothing else to talk about. That's it. She's done. She is done. She is done. She is done. You right? For real. There ain't no way. Look at here, look at here, look at here, look at here. Look at here. Look at here. Look at here. Rico Suave, okay? Rico Suave. Rico Suave. That is it right there. That is, that's it. Ain't nothing else to it but to do it. I mean, it has already been proven. But if you needed it to slap you in the face, there it is. Right there on the freaking NDA. And not to mention, because Cesar brung this up, and I meant to look it up before I came on, but is it true, or is it the fact that if they're not given, the person who signs the NDA, if they're not given a copy, therefore the NDA is invalid? because Eddie also testified that he did not, in fact, get a copy of that NDA. My point is, has anyone gotten a copy of their NDA from Diddy? That's really something to want to know. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. So anyway, Diddy came back. When he got the USB, he went in the room about a couple of minutes, came back out with a paper bag and a money counter. He counted out $50,000 as he said he would give. And then he added on an additional $50,000. So a total of $100,000 he gave. Because he wanted 50 for Bill, I guess, whatever. And then 50 for Eddie and the other security to share amongst themselves for their trouble, to make sure they shut the fuck up. Yeah. So he put the money in, cashed it out, boom, boom, shebang. He goes to walk him out, and while he's walking him out to his car, whatever, Eddie don't think he about to make it to his car. Poor man think that his life is over. He think Diddy about to do him in somewhere, all right? But Diddy's just talking to him on the way down, like, so, you know, what you gonna do with all that money? You know, trying to get him geeked up, whatever, because, you know, Eddie's probably still looking nervous, like, what the hell going on? I still don't feel safe. Like, what just happened? Why did I do this? I'm going home. I'm going to church and repenting, whatever. But, you know, he just came down with, he's like, you know, so what you gonna do with all that money? But he also telling him, don't make no big purchases with it. Don't put it in the bank. Like, if this is legal, why the hell I can't do what I want to do with it, mug? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my money. Didn't you just give it to me? And then, you know, and he didn't tax it. And that's probably how he was able to get immunity, because he didn't tax this money also. So kudos to him. And I think he took 30 of it. I don't know. Something like that. I could be wrong. But he did that. It's just crazy. So, you know, so at the end of it all, you know, he's like, yo, you know, if you ever need me, holla at me. I got you. You know, it is what it is. And so around Easter, Diddy hit him up, you know, trying to make sure everything's still kosher. Like, hey, has anyone mentioned anything, you know, this, that, third? He's like, nah, everything's cool, copacetic, whatever, chill. He's like, okay, well, that's what's up. You know, if you ever need me, you just holler at me. I got you, no doubt. You know, you my angel, yo. You my angel. You my angel. Steady calling him his angel. Steady calling him his angel. So there's some time after Eddie did end up hitting him up, needing a job. Asked him on Instagram, because remember, he had his burner phone. He never had a real number for him. So he hit him up on Instagram, asking for some type of security job or whatever he had in security. Diddy never responded. Never, ever responded. Never responded to the man after all he did for you. Karma's a bitch. I bet you did not. I bet you did not. But it's good for him that he did, in hindsight, for Eddie. Because Eddie could have been testifying to something way worse on his behalf. You know? It could have been worse. And so there was a time that Mark got out there and he wanted to do his big one. He really, I think, you know, at this point, I want to say that Mark might not like Brian Steele. Brian Steele came in and stole the show. You know, at first, Mark was probably Diddy's favorite, because Mark would do anything that Diddy would tell him to do. And he loved that. He absolutely loved that. And now, here we are, Brian Steele coming off of Young Thug's case, you know, and feeling himself. So he strolls into the courtroom, doing his thing, even though it was absolutely shitty what he did to Mia. It was just, it was just nasty. The nastiest. It was just nasty. Just, Anyway, he was doing his big one. He felt he was on top of the world because he, you know, he got this witness all got her panties all in a bunch of whatever. Poor Mia. Justice for Mia, because that was brutal. Just to hear about it. Imagine to see that. I'm glad I wasn't in the courtroom when she was there. I wouldn't have been able to handle it. However, you know, so I guess Mark said, you know what, my turn. I'm about to turn this mother out. I'm about to do my big one. I'm about to make the headlines be about me today. I'm about to have people talking about me today. I'm about to have Diddy remembering who his number one is. You know, it's like, are you fighting for Diddy's attention and his approval and his loyalty? It's kind of like Diddy has made this toxic even for his lawyers. It looks like they're just fighting for his attention too now. They're just doing whatever it is to please him, to make him smile and have a good night's sleep. My gosh. With a good blanket that night. Anywho. So Mark's getting up there talking to, who was he talking about? Oh, Diddy's chief financial, office advisor, soft person. So he's asking him all these questions. You know, has Diddy made you money and all of this type of stuff? You know, we've done things together. And he goes in to want to ask this man about Diddy's character. And I guess he thought, oh, since they made so much money together very well, he's got to speak highly of him because of the money. Because money makes you speak highly of anyone. And you don't really see the monster that someone is when money is involved. But not this dude here. Because when Mark went to go asking him, how do you feel about this? Hold on. He was going in. He was going in. He was like, do you think highly of him personally? And do you think he's a good person? And all of these things, right? And whenever he asks, he really sat and thought about his answer before he said anything. And a lot of the times, the silence was golden. And the silence scared Mark so much that he just went on to another question. He was like, you know, okay, so if he wasn't answering, like, well, how'd you feel about him personally? Would you say he's a good person? Would you say he helped you become a better person? Or would you say that he helps you be successful and know what success is? Like, it's like he wanted him to give him a love letter like his friend did back, like his old, assistant did back in the day, homeboy, can't even remember his name, but the one who was weird in his testimony. He couldn't stand to be there and watch Cassie get beat any longer, but yet Diddy was the greatest, was basically a god among men type. That guy, him. It's like Mark was looking for a love letter out of the CFO, like he got out of that guy. And it wasn't going to happen. Because the moment he said, was he a good person? It was silence. Like, you could hear a rat pissing on carpet silence from him. He was just, like, looking, like, trying to think, like, it was a moment. Like, everyone realized, like, did something happen? Because what's going on? Did time stop? Am I stopped? Like, what? Yeah. And so at the end of it all, he was just like, okay, I guess, never mind then. He just stuttered, like he couldn't even think of anything to say. And so at that point, the prosecution, that's when they let it be known that, since y'all want to play around with Mia's testimony and all of this and all that jazz, we gonna make sure that we can make this credible, and we just gonna bring in those calls, those jailhouse rock calls that Diddy's been making while he's been in jail. Yeah, we're going to bring some of those out. And we're going to make sure everything that is copacetic, since y'all want to play on Mia's name like this. Since y'all want to do this. And while we're speaking of Mia, let's talk about how they doxed her today. Yeah, or accidentally doxed her. So they're putting some things into evidence or whatnot. And here goes another one showing all these pictures of her and everything. And they doxed her with the freaking names. Yes, right there. Just has her government name in the picture. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It is insane how they are just doing this. It makes no sense. And they're blaming, and now they want to blame And so now they wanted to blame at first that the content creators were putting all of this out here about her, and they shut down like 3 content creators. They shut down 1 content creator specifically who doxed her, and they said it was a guy and who doxed her, and they wanted him to take it down. They were like, look, it's happening right now. He's showing it right now. They're doxing her right now. Her picture's up right now. He's talking about her right now. And so a whole bunch of other content creators have done the same thing, and they want to ask them, they want to be making it a thing so they can ask them to take it down. Y'all should take it down, because this woman did not ask for this. Y'all got y'all clicks and views already. Take it down. You know, whatever. But yeah, so they so also D-Rock's texts have come into play. And D-Rock's texts prove that Diddy did in fact hurt, inflict pain, and do bodily harm to Cassie. Because in these texts, D-Rock is asking Diddy questions and explaining to him such things as, yeah, I'm icing down Cassie's face right now. She keeps asking about you, what you want me to say. And Diddy's saying something along the lines, I don't fuck with her right now, or I ain't fucking with her right now, I ain't effing with her right now. Along those lines, right? And it's just totally just disgusting, just bashing her, and just absolutely just, ugh. Like, he is just the worst. Like, you don't hit on this woman like this, and now you can't even, usually you should be bringing her all types of comfort, jewels, and everything. I'm sorry, gifts. But now it's like, and F her? Like, how dirty can you be? How dirty can you be? How low can you go? How low can you go? Really. It's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And so with D-Rock's testimony, the worst that can happen is, worst case scenario is admission by co-conspirator, but best case is an agency statement. Depending on, I mean, we do not expect D-Rock to flip on Diddy. I mean, that is being a snitch almost. If you that deep in it, you want to snitch, like, you're just as responsible as he is. So yeah, we'll let that be known. So the actual way that CNN had got that tape was because even though, you know, Diddy had them check the cloud and all of this stuff to make sure that that tape was actually erased, gone, whatever. Because the next day, Eddie came in, he said everything was finito, back to normal. But shoot, I forgot the point I was trying to make for it. Where was I going with that? Where was I going with it? I forget. It was about the tape. I know I was leading up to the tape, but I don't even know. It was something about tape. It's going to come to me and I'll remember and I'll say it in the next one. But that are the highlights for day 15. It was a lot. Who is expected next? I don't know, but I just can't wait for KK to get up on the stand, and I can't wait for Diddy himself to take the stand. I can't wait to see if Lauren London's going to be on there and whose side she will be on, because that's going to be a tricky one. That's going to be a tricky one. I hope she's a girl's girl like we all think she is, and I hope Nipsey Hussle would want her to make the right decision. Let's channel that. Let's channel that. Let's channel that. Who else is to be on the list? I don't know, but the prosecution is definitely saying they're going to be wrapping up their side a week early at least. Like, they're going to be done early. Like, so you probably got maybe a week or two left of them. And then the prosecution, their witness, the defense of their witnesses, whatever they got going on, whoever they got, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a shaboozy. That's going to be a shaboing, boing, boing. Okay? Like, for real, for real. It will be. I promise you that. But that is going to do it for tonight, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope that it helps. That sometimes, you know, I go late with it. I am going to start going live. I know I keep going live and making it private, but I just don't have time for Diddy's trolls. I really am in a good headspace, and I just don't got time for that. So, but I am going to go live. I know I can just press a button or two and all of that stuff. If you got to be a subscriber to do that. And maybe I will do that. I can do it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow or whatever the case. But anyways, y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all the next time for day 16. Whew. What if this went on for 26 days? Day 26. That would be the funniest thing ever. It really would be. But we know it's going to go a little bit longer than that. So we'll see what happens, but I'll see y'all next time.